It has no consequence. So the reason that we're not happy, there's only this one reason, is because we are seeing sin. Sin is the basis for the idea of disunity. So sin is somebody doing something that seems to fight against unity, or me feeling guilty because I did something that seems to fight against unity. But God's will for me is perfect happiness. But I cannot be happy when I'm guilty. I cannot be happy when I'm projecting my guilt onto you. So in order to return to that state of happiness, which is God's will for me, I have to forgive the sin. So here's where we become Son of God. This is where we become the child of God. And it says actually that God's plan for salvation will not work without me doing my part. Because it's the whole thing about the courses is talking about your experience, what you're going through, like on an individual, because we've made ourselves individuals. So this salvation just means safety. Salvation means that place of unity, heaven, peace. So the only way to realize that happiness then is to return to that state of mind which exists in harmony. And now the thing of it is, we're in the classroom. The world is a classroom. And that's why the meditation for today was about teaching and learning. I'm teaching all the time. I'm teaching. Now sometimes, and I always say what the Course says about this is we're teaching what we need to learn. Now sometimes we're teaching the bad lesson, which just means that we need to learn how not to do that, right? Sometimes we're teaching the lesson of what it is actually that we need to do. But our actions, our words, all of these things are lessons that we're giving out to other people, but most importantly, we're giving them to ourselves. I mean, for the purposes of peace, for the purposes of happiness, these are the lessons that we're teaching ourselves. So, I want to return my thinking to this idea of everything is already all together, that we are in union. So, now, I had a discussion yesterday with someone. I'll see if I can do this. I want to be sensitive to, I don't want to reveal anything, but okay, they're in a relationship, and the other person in the relationship with them said, what you're doing over here is taken away from our family. So the two of them, she's thinking the two of them, or she's looking at this like the two of them and their dogs. There's her family. But what he was doing, what she was getting upset about, was actually giving to another family member. And then someone else too was very close. But what I tried to point out to him was we're all family. We're all family. Now, if what we're doing is we are giving in a way that is harmful, that's not for the highest good, then the reason we don't do it is not because somebody's getting cheated in the family. The reason we don't do it is because it's not for the highest good. It's not for the good of the person who we're giving to. Not because this mindset, the problem with this mindset is it's always going to seem as if I need to hold on to this, whatever it is. Let me gather up my stuff here and watch carefully. I want anybody to get after my stuff. And if I see somebody else that I trust and that's with me want to give away some of my stuff, I'm not liking that. But I'm all just worried about holding on to my stuff. And I'm missing all the new opportunities for good that are available. Again, this is a tricky area, this idea of giving, because many times I've made mistakes in this area. I won't say any more about that. I'm just going to say I made mistakes about this, right? But I do not want to be restrained in my giving. We're unified. Holding on to levels of relationship, this is another problem. And this is the hardest one, because I just thrive on special relationships. I want to have special relationships. My ego wants to be special, and it wants to have special people. So I want to hold this relationship here above all these other relationships. That's always going to cause disharmony. I mean, in my mind, it's always going to cause disharmony. It's always going to cause conflict. What I want to do is I want to be able to extend the same love. When I say love, I mean sense of connection and desire for only good to come. I want to extend that same love to everyone. Yes, right now, I have a different role to play with different people. This doesn't mean that I'm going to betray one person for another person. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is to get rid of this idea of levels. What I'm talking about is to extend the same love to everybody. And this is a practice, and it's a striving. I don't do it perfectly. I don't really know. I think I've known a couple people who it seemed like they were doing it perfectly. But it's like I know that is the ideal, that's where it needs to go. Because the special relationships are always the ones where we find the most disappointment also. So, holding on to levels of relationship keeps us in bondage. It may seem natural to have stronger feelings for some people in our lives than for others. These strong feelings appear to be either good or bad. So we can have good special relationships, we can have bad special relationships. We cherish both, by the way. You know that already. We have good feelings for those who think we are closer to us. We have bad feelings for those who we discern are a threat to us. We hold those around us hostage to our old delusional whims. We'll do well to recognize the only difference in these relationships is how we perceive the past behavior of each person. Given time, we will move them from one category to another. We probably are entertaining multiple categories. So today, this special relationship seems so sweet. This is just really something that's going on. But if I hold it like that, try to hold it in that specialness, even just for a moment, they'll do something. I move them over into this other category. This category of annoying. This category of obstinate. This category of what the hell are they doing? Given time, we'll move them from one category to another. This is the division of relationship, and it is false. Because the truth is, we're unified. We are part of all, and all are part of us. And in this allness, then, we're complete. Together, we're complete. And again, this is an ideal. This is an ideal that we're moving towards. Because all of us are going to, today, it's going to happen today. You are going to experience and participate in special relationships of various kinds. It's the nature of the experience that we're having. The idea here that I'm presenting is just let's start realizing that's what we're doing and try to move towards the ideal where we extend the same love to everyone. So if heaven is our goal, at the Y yesterday, we have an old guy that plays racquetball. His name's Gene, and he goes to a Unitarian church. And he's one of the people that goes to the Unitarian church who are totally on the side of there's no God, there's no, none of that, right? But that's just how he thinks. And so then we got the other guy, Wendell, who is a minister at this fundamentalist church, and they talk about things. And Wendell keeps poking him, asking him when he's going to get to heaven and all that kind of stuff. And Gene keeps saying doesn't exist. And so he said some smart comment to him. Wendell said something to him yesterday about it, and Gene just walked away. And I said, Gene, what do you think Wendell would say if you just told him that heaven was the state of total non-duality? And he just stopped for a second. He says it doesn't exist anyway. This is what we're talking about, though, when we're talking about the kingdom of heaven, a state of total non-duality, where there's not you and me, where there's just one. where we're together, where we are totally together. And this is the state that the Eastern religions describe as what comes after the illusion of all this separateness, is this state of total non-duality, where there is no dark and light, there's only light. Where there is no contrast. Now, this is when the ego says, yeah, that sounds like a good place. Sound, like how long you're going to be able to, that sounds boring to me. But the way that it's described is that we can't even understand the level of bliss that exists in that state. It's the exchange of self-consciousness for God consciousness. It's not really an even trade. Right? But we think, and the ego argues, that this is like we're dying when we do this. We are actually, it is kind of like that because we're dying to self. But we're complete. To be complete, to get rid of this feeling that we are much less than this. Think about heaven as our goal, but the fact of the matter is, we've already attained it. This is the idea that unity just exists. The state of unity, the state of heaven is there already. We're just clouding it over with all of these other crazy thoughts. So we've only dreamed that we have left this place of unity. But our practice is to slowly, piece by piece, move our perception step by step to the place where we can actually accept that total unity again. We're not having to do anything, really, but surrender to the presence of Spirit within us. Surrender to it, and also surrender any of these seeming problems. To say, here, take it. And we have a couple of techniques that we talked about in the past. If I've got a problem, let me make it a gift to Spirit. Let me make it a gift. Let even visualize it, wrap it up, put a bow on it, give it to Spirit. A person that's we can do this with. We can do it with a person who seems to be a problem in our life. We can do it with a person who seems to be having problems, and we want to help them. Well, all this is just roles that we're putting people in. So whether it is that we want to pray for them to be healed from a sickness, or whether we want to pray that we be healed from their presence. Whatever it is, whatever issue it is that we have, whatever we think it is, make it a gift. Give it to Spirit. And know this, that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean we're not going to have to do anything. We give the gift to Spirit, and what comes back is the guidance as to what we're supposed to do with it. Instead of reacting in the ego way, we actually get a sense of what to say, what to do. Sometimes it's nothing. Don't do anything. Shut up. Be quiet. Just wait. See what happens. It's going to be okay. So we surrender. If we find our thoughts straying to conflict, all we have to do is be willing to let go of it. There's a little tiny bit of willingness. All right, I'm all in conflict. I'm all stirred up and everything like that. I say, you know what? I already know from my own experience, from my own practice, I can just relax into harmony and I'll be okay. Now, it may only last for a couple of minutes, but I can. I can relax into harmony. I can give all this tension, all this upset, I can give that to Spirit right now. A lot of times, though, I go, wait a minute, no, I'm fighting the good fight. All this is going on right now. I need to take a stand. I need to be tough. Well, you may need to be tough, but stop for a minute and be quiet. Try to get some peace first. Get some guidance as to what to do. The tiniest portion of willingness on our part links us to this greater power that is always present in us. So unity is completeness. Unity is us being together. When we see completeness, we will then be comforted and at ease, because we have the sense that we're not under threat. So we relax into the peace of mind and allow mind with a capital M to guide us, to stay in that oneness. Okay. I'm going to finish with this, because this is where it all goes. If unity exists, and unity just is a state that's always there, and all I have to do is turn my attention to it to get it, what do I actually have to do? I have to forgive. I have to forgive the apparent state of things. I can't do that on my own. Because what I think forgiveness is to say that even though you did all these bad things, I'm just going to shine it on. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. I'm being magnanimous here. You should understand that. You should see I'm being nice. You were a butt, and I'm being nice. That's not forgiveness, but that's the forgiveness the ego wants to offer. To say, oh yeah, I'm just going to let it go. But forgiveness that the Spirit offers is forgetfulness. Never happened. Gone. Don't remember. So I'm forgiving. Forgiveness is letting go of the past. Forgetfulness. Forgiving is letting go of the past. Letting go of the past frees us all from conflict. Because now I don't remember what we were fighting about. I've forgiven it. It's gone. I put it out of mind. I didn't sit on it. I didn't cover it over with something. I gave it to Spirit. Take this. Let me be healed. In the present is where the holy moment is. The present is the holy instant. The present is the nexus of creation. This is where actually, in the present, that's where love springs from. So in the present, the holy moment is here, and that means bliss. It means joy. It means happiness. Love lives in us and through us eternally. It cannot exist in our thoughts when we are attracted to a past occurrence. Love cannot exist when we're attracted to a past occurrence. We're either longing for something that we believe is gone, or we're upset about something. Or it also cannot exist when we are projecting into an uncertain future. So it cannot exist in worry. It cannot exist in fear of what's going to happen in the future. Forgiveness happens when we forget past hurts and when we choose to live in love instead of fear. Anger flees in the face of God's goodness. Anger flees. You know what? It said there's a lesson in Course in Miracles that says anger is never justified. That does not mean you're not going to be angry. It doesn't mean that if you do get angry, you should be guilty. It's just saying it's not justified. Just recognize that it's not. Yes, you're angry. Admit it. It's fine. It's fine. Just recognize you really has no justification, even though you have a whole book of reasons why it is justified. It just isn't justified. But it's okay. You're angry. Now, do you want to stay angry? Or do you want to forgive? It's just a question. It's just a choice. The light of creation dissipates the shadows of fragmentation. Love is creation. The extension of love is creation. Every loving thought goes on for eternity. As we forgive, we are healed. And as we are healed, we heal those whom we have held in bondage this whole time. The bondage of guilt and shame. We are healed from the bondage of guilt and shame. We don't feel guilt and shame anymore, and we don't have to put it on other people anymore. We're healed. We release these nightmarish demons right now and come back into a state of unity, a state of harmony with all of our brothers and sisters. Unity is right now. So the only question you have to ask myself is, are you going to accept unity? Are you going to accept harmony? It's there for you, or would you rather be mad? And when I say mad, I mean angry and insane. That's enough. Thank you. Thank you.